Thanks for checking out a new episode of Bad Advice with Chris Cubis. We are back. I appreciate you guys rocking with us, sharing the links, telling your friends, giving us those little 5-star reviews. We super appreciate it. I am joined this week by two very, very funny comedians. Up first, the hilarious Ashley Overton. How's it going, girl?
It's going.
Yeah. How's comedy treating you? It's weird because I'm like back in my fucking hobbit hole of not leaving my house because our state's a nightmare. So I'm always like, what's it like out there?
Yeah, it's still scary, though I keep my mask on because I'm vaccinated and all I can do is just keep my double mask. I've been wearing double mask since last March of 2020. I've been double masking before double mask.
Early. Yeah. Hipster double mask. I like it.
Yeah. That's anyway.
Also with us this week, the very funny John Rabon. What's going on, sir?
Hey, how's it going? Good evening or morning, depending on when you're listening to this.
That's true. Who knows?
And my dog's barking in the background. Shut up.
That's fine. My dog will do the same. This is you can listen to us at any time. This usually comes out midnight, but I might put it together in the morning because I'm tired and I'm probably gonna go to bed after this because I'm an old man. Speaking to another old man, how's life treating you? How do you
same. But now that I've got a day gig as opposed to working evenings, I'm going to bed early. It's early, midnight. It's early for like my nostalgic me. Yeah. From getting drunk every night so midnight is early. Yes.
I'm the same way because I feel like every time I think, I'm going to bed so early. No, you're going to bed like a normal human being. You're just not living drunk lunatic hours anymore. You know, right? You're not just like living 2 open mic a night hours anymore.
I'm just rocking full spectrum CBD. That's like me partying now.
Does that work for you? Does the CBD work for you?
It does. It's because I don't do the heroin anymore or the alcohol. I've decided to slow down a bit, but it does.
Yes, you went from heroin to stuff they sell at Walgreens now, so you're doing pretty good. Ashley, are you a CBD, a weed? What are you? What's your take the edge off medicine?
Man, that's a good question. Probably, I guess CBD, because until weed becomes legal, I can't really, because I'm so sensitive to it, so it's like I can't just smoke any weed because it'll knock me out. And since it's not legal here, you don't know what you're getting. So usually
yeah. Man, that
CBD.
Is so funny because my argument for people who are against legalization, so I was like, oh no, people will try it if it's legal. I was like, bullshit. If someone wants to smoke weed, they're gonna smoke weed. Nobody's waiting for it to get legal.
Correct.
The fucking the exception that proves the rule. Ashley Overton.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've smoked it.
I was about to say, I think I have seen.
Yeah, it's just not I feel like it would be more my preference if I could go to a bud tender and be like, hey, I need something that's not going to make me a psychopath. And something that will not make me sink in the couch or anxious. Yeah,
maybe just stick with CBD. I think you just named the three things weed does. So I don't know if it's for you. Word.
You have something to calm me down that's not fun. Oh, CBD. Oh, okay.
I tried CBD for my dog because that's where I'm at, and didn't work. But also, my dog's a little ball of anxiety, so maybe he's just too fucked up.
Is it a small dog?
It's a small little guy. Yeah, he's like a little 15, 20 pounder. He's small, and he is like the most anxious little thing in the world. And he's a sweetheart, but if he's not immediately being pet, he's whining somewhere and shaking in a corner. So we're trying to find I don't want to put him on Xanax because I was like, that's just right. You know what I mean? That seems too aggressive, but
it's like there's no turning back once you get to that point. You're suddenly I'm that person, and then there's no going back.
Yeah, and now I'm
picking up scripts for your dog. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm bringing him on a plane, and I'm not trying. I like seeing dogs on planes, but I don't want to be that person.
Right.
Well, because me, a human, got diagnosed with anxiety over the pandemic, right? And I got put on Lexapro. And yeah, you don't want to do that for your dog. It becomes their whole personality. Now that's my whole personality. It's just, I'm sad, I'm on Lexapro.
Yeah, my dog can't be writing all these going to therapy jokes. He's not.
Yeah. Your dog's agent's like, we need you to be more versatile, more observational comedy.
Let's go ahead and jump into this show. Now, you guys are familiar. Now, Rabon, I know you are very familiar with the Dear Abby format. You used to do back in the day a blog, as they were called.
Yes. The early aughts social media of blogging on your own website. You're like, oh, people will come to this. They'll come to my website.
That was what content was.
Yes, that was
content.
That was avoiding doing any real work. Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's right.
Fair enough. And Ashley, I'm sure you're at least familiar with the concept of like an advice column.
Yes.
Yeah. You'd be surprised the people I've had on this where I say, Dear Abby, and they go, what? And I go, like a letter, you write a letter.
What, you mean like reading? Yeah. Like reading.
Valid point. Well, let's go ahead and test the waters here. I've got a few good letters picked out. We'll see what we can do, if we can help some of these people. Let's try. All right, we're going to go with this one. Dear Abby, for years, I told my mom and sister that I did not want to have happy birthday sung to me on my day. Year after year, they ignored my feelings and did whatever the heck they wanted. This persisted from my 20th birthday through my 40th birthday. On my 40th birthday, I told them it was the last time I would tolerate my feelings being ignored. They did it again the next year, but when I asked for an apology, all I got from them were fake apologies and lame excuses. I will forever hate my day because it reminds me of how long my feelings were ignored and how my day was made all about their wishes. How can I love somebody who doesn't care about my feelings? I am now nearing my 62nd birthday. They continue to bring up the subject of celebrations for all our birthdays, and I continue to tell them I don't do birthdays anymore. Their refusal to acknowledge my feelings causes me pain. What can I do? Signed, No Fanfare, in the Midwest. Now, I have a few questions. First off, what? Ooh, okay. So what gender do you think the letter writer is?
Oh, well, female.
See, that's what I thought. Also, when you started when she started talking about the birthday thing, I was immediately like, "Oh, this is a Zoomer." Then I'm like, "No, is it a millennial?" And then I'm like, 40th birthday. I'm like, "Fuck, is this a Gen Xer?
No,
Did you just shit on me?"
Yeah,
but
this is a boomer. She's 62.
Yeah. Now I'm so happy it's a boomer.
I was like, okay, so I initially thought woman as well. For years I told my mom and my sister this thing about my day that has big like girl you went to high school with who's in a multi-level marketing scheme and she doesn't know it energy. Like it's I celebrate a birthday week kind of feeling, which is definitely a lady move. But man, there is something in this middle paragraph about like fake apologies and lame excuses and I don't do birthdays anymore. There's something that's giving me dude vibes halfway through this letter.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, honestly, all that confirms is that she is a white woman.
Valid point. Oh, yeah. We can go. I think we can all just agree that there is some caucasity going on in this letter. There's no question.
Yeah, even before you got to the Midwest part. Like, even before. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So here is... So it's a thing we say on this podcast. People write into these columns and they make themselves seem as good as possible in the writing of the letter, right? Nobody writes in to make themselves seem like an asshole. But I kind of feel like they're like, what is the big fucking deal about having a 15-second song, if that, sang to you once a year?
Right. And also to remember 22 years ago, the pain of it from 22 years ago. That's insane. 22 years ago, I don't remember a single grudge I had, honestly, pre-pandemic. I don't.
Yeah.
So that's mental illness. That's not
not normal. But also, like, so I am torn, because on one hand, they are making an outrageous fucking request, right? Like, It's your birthday, people sing happy birthday. It's just like, unless you got molested by a birthday clown, like there's not you know what I'm saying? There's nothing to be taken so seriously about this birthday song. However, imagine you asking something relatively easy of your loved ones, which is, hey, I don't like that song. And they sing it to you 42 times. You're 20 to 62 every year, and they won't let it drop. I might go a little fucking crazy
at this point, right? Yeah. Yeah. No, you know what? You make a good point, because it is a shit song. I mean, it's
a terrible song, right?
Yeah.
Because they're white. If it's the black happy birthday,
oh yeah.
Now we're getting into that's a jam, Stevie Wonder. We're getting into a bop, but this is like a song you sing to children.
Right. Yeah. When you spin it that way, it really, because I don't like the song personally. I'm like, nobody, they all try, nobody hits the right key. And then you got the high note that just fucks the whole thing up, and it is grating, but it is less than half a minute.
Yeah. And I would also like to think, like, one of them is the, like, they got to put a little sauce on it singer, you know what I mean? One of them's doing the, like, fucking you look like a monkey line, you know what I mean? They're like, I can already tell. I'm switching immediately. Initially, I was very much against the letter writer, but now I'm like, fuck these people. Ashley, do you have any birthday trauma that would prevent this song from being sung to you? You're quiet in the top.
Yeah, this is where it comes out. Yeah, guys, I wrote this letter. I
am much older than I look.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm gonna get a little, like, kind of true crimey here, detective, if you will.
I like it.
I think, like, I'm going to really dissect this person. I think that probably there's some sort of defect that this woman has, whether it be she has a mole on her face or something that she views as just whatever, hideous, ugly, hasn't accepted herself. I think maybe that's why she could be against the birthday song, or even making their birthday. I'm sorry, I should do gender neutral, because we don't know.
We don't know. That's true.
But they don't want that day about them, because maybe there's a psychological, they don't want the attention, that's not funny, but
no, but it could. No, that's very true. That's very true. But that only gives more
dissecting this person.
That just gives more validity to their argument, and more to why I'm changing, that this mom and sister are a couple of real fucking no goodness. I don't like them. And, like, what does that say about, like, at some point, I think you just cut off these people. Like, if they are this petty, I feel like this isn't the only issue that this letter writer has with these people. Right?
I mean, clearly, yeah.
There's no way you have, like, a fucking, everything's coming up roses relationship with your family, but this one thing is the thing that's driving you to write a stranger for backup. Like, it's just, that's not a thing. So, like, there's other pettiness going on in this relationship.
Yeah, it's definitely tip of the iceberg for sure.
It definitely leads to murder. Absolutely.
That's my concern, that this is going to be one, like I know Grey Gardens didn't end with a murder, but when I watched it, I always thought it was going to, you know what I mean? I had that vibe of, like, these people are all crazy, and it's either going to go, like, hoarder crazy or murder suicide crazy. That's definitely the vibe I'm getting from these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't whatever trauma and competitive, like, it's definitely, this can, and the thing is that it doesn't matter what, I'm kind of curious, was this Dear Abby specifically, or was this somebody else?
This was straight to Dear Abby, and recently. This is not an old letter. This is within the month.
That was wow, because I don't think that whatever she said, I don't think they'll listen to it unless Abby's completely on his/her side, their side.
Yeah.
I don't think that they'll take. They're looking for some kind of support and it's just like, just cut it off, man. If it's this bad,
at some point you have to just like punch out. If they're driving you this crazy, you just have to be like, this relationship ain't for us. I would also just like to throw in there, how old is this mom? The letter writer's 62. You know what I mean? The mom's still hanging in there. She might be the prime. I feel like all of these women are the prime demographic for a Dear Abby intervention. You know what I mean?
Right. Also, if it's this hurtful and traumatic, maybe don't answer the fucking phone on your birthday.
Yeah, easy. That's an easy solve. Just fucking go away. Take a trip every birthday. Leave them be.
Yeah, it's not like, I mean, I know people hate Twitter, when they're like, oh, I hate Twitter. I'm like, well, get off Twitter. But then you go back to it to look at it. Like, I get that, but you can cut your phone off. You're not like, oh, I have to make a call. Like, just cut it off.
Absolutely. So Ashley, what advice would you give these people? I think John, me and I both agree. Just fucking stop talking to these people. You guys are toxic. I know that's going to be hard for you because like these are your relatives and one of them's almost surely going to die soon, right? Like that, there's no way the mom is long for this world. So like you could tough it out, but also it would feel kind of good for her to know why you're not talking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say my advice would be just to like unplug on your birthday. And I mean, you could still talk to your family, but just like not on your birthday, just everything's shut down on your birthday, like your phone, electricity, like go full, go full on, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Orthodox Jew, your birthday. It's Sabbath.
Yes.
You can't answer the phone, no emails. Yeah.
You're literally just laying in bed from morning to night until you enter into that new age. I mean, and then that way they can still, like, because I like to think that these people, this family or whoever, I like to think that they're rule followers. So thus they won't sing this person happy birthday if it's not actually on their birthday. I don't know why.
They're very specific. I kind of get that vibe too. I get that vibe as well. That's like, it's like the purge. If they don't get it in when that fucking alarm goes off, then they can't do it. Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's why I would say my advice is just, be in a dark hole for your birthday, morning to night. Also, everything's off.
And also get over the boomer stigma of therapy and find out why you hate your birthday. So
what's
much.
wrong? This may involve hypnosis. You might have some deep-seated trauma that you got to get over, but for sure something is not right. This is not a normal birthday reaction, like, for sure. Let's go ahead and move on to our next letter. Let's try. So this one is just okay because Dear Abby. Why, in social situations, do women with long hair feel the need to constantly change their hairstyle from an updo to letting it fall to their shoulders and vice versa? This lets hair and dander fly around, and it's especially offensive at the dinner table. It's like bringing a collie and having it shake all over 3 or 4 times. We have noticed this especially in middle-aged women. Does anyone else find this offensive? My neighbor thinks they're trying to draw attention to themselves. Signed, Hairy Situation in Washington. So I think we can all agree, also written by a woman. That's a joke, clearly. This is a very gross man that wrote this letter.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, this is, I'm confused.
Yes.
I'm just confused about who's he eating with? Is he talking about people coming over to the house?
I don't know what... I want to go back one step because I'm confused from the beginning. Who is we? He says multiple times, like, we have noticed this thing. Who is we? I'm not convinced there's a we. I think this is a, like, I'm trying to remember the movie with the rabbit, with the, God damn it, it's a Jimmy Stewart movie. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'll remember it 20 minutes into this podcast and I'll yell the name of it. But like, I'm not convinced there's a we. I think he might be making up a we, so he does like halfway through the letter, he realized he sounds crazy and he needs backup in his craziness.
Yeah, everybody at my weekly incel meeting agree.
Yeah. Also, Ashley, can I, like, and you know, you have, I mean, relatively long hair. It's not short.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing you like women do? Because I don't know that I've ever seen a woman constantly changing from an updo to letting it down and vice versa, like throughout the course of a meal.
I don't think, well, because this person got really specific, right? Like during a meal. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, we live in the state of Texas. So if I'm outside, I'm, you know, maybe hanging out in a friend's backyard, whatever, and I have my hair down, it might get hot, I'll put it up.
Sure.
But I'm not doing that like at a restaurant. Well, I guess it depends on what restaurant. Because like, look, there's no rules at Chili's.
Very true. Absolutely. You do. That's fair. That is an argument to be made, which is, let's talk about the restaurant you're at, because like if you're just at Whataburger, you're drunk anyway. So just like let it go.
And you're probably about to throw up. So you better get that hair out of your face, girl. Like, I don't know. But I want to go back to the we specifically.
Yes, please.
Because there's only two types of people who use we. And it is heterosexual married couples, usually with a Christian background, or
absolutely
gay
that
men.
We involves Jesus. There are three people in that we.
Yes, or a gay couple, like specifically gay men. Gay couple men love to use we, which is, I love it. And also, I would say my guess. Look, I like making assumptions about these people, Chris.
Of course,
I don't
that's
know.
the whole point.
I've just
Ashley, that is the entire point of this podcast.
Perfect. That was
please
like,
make some assumptions.
Call this bad and assumption. Like maybe I should have a podcast just called Assumptions. But I truly think this is a gay man, and I like to think that like his real name is Harry, and him and his partner literally. Look, they're in Washington, okay? Right. So the dandruff thing does not surprise me. So I bet they have this one friend, and they thought it would be a gag to like write Dear Abby about this one friend that they have who is just, you know, kind of gross. But then they went too far into the details, because maybe this is just a thing that, yes, it happens at the dinner table, but also she just has dandruff. It's like, why can't you just talk about your
also
friend
he
has
says
dandruff?
He says dander, not dandruff.
Right, it's not dandruff.
Like a cat. It's weird.
This isn't about like hair falling in food. They're dander. This is an OCD hypochondriac like problem. This is somebody who and also they're not young. Like, granted, we can assume often that writers, people writing Dear Abby aren't particularly young, but this is like a 60-year-old man writing this letter. Again, white. We're going to throw that out there. But I would like to bring it back. Rabon, you mentioned it, the neighbor. I'm curious when do we think that he went across the street? You know what I mean? Like, he went over and was like I have the feeling like the neighbor answered the door and he was halfway through his long hair women spiel. You know what I mean? Like, he was already talking like when he opened the door. I don't know. Right. I feel like the neighbor is getting dragged into this, and like I think maybe the neighbor just said some shit to get him off his porch. Sure. No, of course. There's no. I can't imagine with the whole we. I can't even imagine if this is in fact a white gay male in Washington. I can't imagine the partner is along either.
No, no,
whatever.
No. That's why they're writing into this. That's why they're writing Dear Abby, because they have gotten no backup, and they are just trying to find anyone to agree with them.
Right.
I think we can all agree too that Harry, though his name is Harry, is bald.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
He's for sure a bald male. Sure.
He might have like either like a horseshoe or a real like middle of the head hairline, but he is definitely this all you hit the nail on the head. This letter, and I didn't even think about it until you brought it up. This is jealousy. This is a man who is used to have long hair. Yeah. He was maybe in a band, you know what I mean? And now he sees these women flipping their hair around and he's mad. You nailed
me. Yeah, because that's just so funny because Ashley was like, well, dandruff can be a problem because you're thinking rationally.
Yeah.
Like you immediately went to dandruff.
Exactly.
Yeah. As soon as you said dandruff, I was like me being dumb, that part of me, I'm like, do humans have dandruff? Like I had a moment where I was like, do you see dandruff?
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know what, I don't know. That's an odd one.
Yeah. Again, he also says feel the need to constantly change their hairstyle from an updo to letting it fall down the shoulders. Here again, another reason I think maybe you might be onto something with the gay man, which I hadn't thought of, is the use of the term updo. I'm not sure a 60-year-old straight white dude super knows that term. I think that is who. That's interesting.
Look, in another
I've
life,
never used the word.
I maybe know it from like I've been to a couple of weddings, so I've been around people where they've had an updo.
Because as a woman, like I have only ever used the term updo for like if people are talking about what they're going to do for their wedding, like their hairstyle.
That's a specific. Yeah, that's my point. It's not like you had said. Oh, it's hot outside. Let me put my hair up. That is like, oh, I wrapped it up. I put it in a bun real fast. I'm keeping it off my neck. It's like a practical thing. Or whatever. An updo is a specific, like, it takes time. You have to go get your hair done in the morning of your wedding, and it might be an hour or two because you're getting an updo. Like, it is not just that. This person, I don't even know if I have advice for them. Stay home. Don't eat. Leave women alone. I don't know what I can tell this person.
Yeah, make sure all of your friends and family have short hair.
Oh yeah, that is my concern. He's gonna start like cutting off ponytails at the mall, like going up the escalator or something. This guy might snap a little bit.
Yeah, it might be too extreme to where like, because on the less extreme side of this, it's like when people come into your home or when you go over to someone's house, sometimes they have you take off your shoes. I feel like if you go over to his house, they're like, has a ruler.
Yeah. Oh, come in, and then you just hear a buzzer go off, like a electric razor buzz in his hand. You're like, oh, okay, maybe we hang out on the porch.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. We've got some more letters to get into. This one, let's go ahead and I'm trying to think. I have a few. This one I find interesting because it's real open-ended to me. Dear Abby, I took care of all 3 of my grandbabies from birth to when my oldest turned 9. Then I found out she was going home and telling her parents, quote unquote, everything that happened while they were with me. Nothing bad at all. Instead of talking to me about it, their mom is now keeping them from me. I have decided to quit trying to see them since I feel they're like their mom all of a sudden doesn't trust me or know me after all these years. I feel the same way about my son. I think we should see what's going on and do something about it, but I don't want to cause trouble between them. Am I wrong? Signed, Cutoff in New Mexico.
Ooh.
Boy. So I'm man. So I'm going to start with maybe the smallest issue to me, but it's still, I think, indicative. She says she took care of all 3 of my grandbabies from birth to when my oldest turned 9. My oldest. That is a term used to describe your children. It is not a term used to describe your grandchildren. So I'm already concerned with the possessiveness of the, let's assume, grandmother. I'm just the use of grandbabies.
Yes.
This feels grandmotherly to me. The possessiveness of the grandmother over these grandchildren. Do you agree, Ashley?
Yeah, it sounds like this grandmother is probably pretty controlling.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't like, and probably like in a scary way too, where it's like you're not like, she acts like she is the mother, but she is not in fact the mother.
I wouldn't be shocked if she introduces those as her children to strangers in public.
And she's probably around my age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if this person, like we're talking about a 9-year-old. I wouldn't be shocked if this person, while a grandmother, is like in her 50s, right?
Right.
Man, that line. Then I found out she was going home and telling her parents, quote unquote, everything that happened here. Those quotation marks on everything.
That sounds like something that has been quoted. I think I've heard that line before in a true crime documentary.
Oh yeah, that's like
literally
real. My favorite murder / yeah. I mean, that has wild pedophile energy, right? Particularly the parenthetical was like everything that happened while they were with me. Nothing bad at all is in parentheses. That is untrue. There is no way that it's nothing bad at all if your children are no longer letting you see their grandparents. That is not a decision entered into lightly.
Instead of thinking worst case scenario like it's pedophilia, I like to think that this grandmother, like, you know, a little bit of a drinker, you know, and she just like tops off everybody's milk with a little bit of sherry or some Baileys, you know.
Yeah, little Baileys never hurt anybody. It's like this.
Yeah.
It's bubblegum vodka. It's clearly for kids.
Yeah. I mean, best case scenario, she's just shit talking the parents.
Right.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That's best case is like maybe that's going on. But I'm confused by I raised the children. But then when they go home to their parents, wait, what's going on?
Yeah. I took care of all 3 of my grandbabies from birth to when they turned 9. And again, that I think speaks to the possessiveness, because what I think she means is I occasionally babysit my grandkids, and then now all of a sudden I'm not allowed to babysit my grandkids anymore. Because like this, if this was a matter of like, oh, my kids were drug addicts and I raised their babies, and now that they're back, they don't want to see me. That would be explained in the letter. You know what I mean?
Right, because I was thinking, because while they were at prison, or whatever. But
that would come up because they write these letters to make themselves seem good. So if they had any. This wouldn't be the fucking vague booking, as they say on Facebook, if they had any real fucking arguments to stand.
Right. Look, I'm taking care of my grandkids because my daughter or son is in prison. Would look at the angel that I am.
Yeah.
She did not go that route.
Also, I think we can figure this out. By the way, it is definitely the woman's son. I think we can all agree this is a grandmother. It is her son, because she says, I feel the same way about my son. So we're talking about a daughter-in-law and her biological son. The daughter-in-law's, I feel like their mom all of a sudden, quote unquote, doesn't trust me or know me after all these years.
Oh yeah, there's tension underneath that for sure. I would also say that, like, since this is New Mexico, again, speculation, love to do assumptions.
Yes,
so I think the vagueness of the letter, right? Like when she mentions, I raised these babies or my whatever till they were 9. I think it's safe to say that probably, maybe, possibly the parents were maybe getting over drugs or in a prison situation, but the grandmother is just as like fucked up, but the only difference is she wasn't in prison. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to think of the type of people who write these Dear Abbeys in the first place. Like, they're not
and live in New Mexico. I know that sounds fucked up, but I base a lot of my it's based on fiction. I just know Breaking Bad, and I feel like it's just all meth out there. It's meth country.
Yeah, and that's one of the better cities.
Yeah, that's one of the cities. Let's just say
that's the city.
Yeah.
Well, and also just the way she says not that bad or whatever she said, like not that
nothing bad at all is my. It's there's no way. Also, I'm gonna throw this out there. Unlikely, based on a New Mexico. What if grandma's just like wild racist? What if she's just saying some wild fucked up Trump shit, and then the kids go home and say the N-word out of nowhere, and the kids are like, what just happened? That could be. We're dealing with old people in New Mexico.
Right.
But also, what if, this is also, by the way, brand new letter within the last month. What if grandma just won't get vaccinated?
Ooh. Yeah.
Right? What if this is just a matter of like, look, you got to go get the shot. She's putting ivermectin in the grandkids' cereal in the morning. Now they're shitting their pants. I think maybe we're going to we're not thinking in a current construct.
You're right. I'm thinking in most like just
we're going too broad. We might need to go a little more specific.
I'm talking like I'm about to pitch an HBO show, you know? Like,
like, no, you got to bring this back. This is TNT. This is not that prestige. You got to come back a little.
We know drama, even family drama.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
man,
typically what we would do is give the letter writer advice. I don't want to help this letter writer. I think I stand by that no one suddenly doesn't let their grandmothers see their grandkids.
Yeah.
This drastically where nothing has happened. So I feel like this woman needs to have a reality check of what she's done, whatever that thing may be, and get whatever help she needs to get past that thing. I don't know that we have enough actual information in this letter to like give real advice.
Right, because otherwise you could just be like, well, talk to your son.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't know that's an option.
Can you visit them at their place?
Right.
Like,
I think they're welcome.
Like make a guest appearance, like a real grandparent.
Absolutely, you would think
that's all. Like, yeah, I don't. But this sounds really fucked up. So I have no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say my two advice is family therapist, or second one, there's adopt some other grandchildren. There's so many kids just walking around in New Mexico.
I bet if you went to the playground, there'd be a couple kids that nobody's watching that close. Just grab a couple.
Oh, absolutely. Walking around, no mask, no grandmother.
Don't hoard all the trauma. Spread it around. There's plenty to go around.
All right, I got another letter here. Let's give this one a read. We got maybe one or two more. Dear Abby, a large neighborhood group, social and friendly, has been invaded by someone with wandering hands. I was the recipient of 3 incidents. I know of other women who have experienced the same, yet they won't share it with their husbands. My husband saw it happen and was on it. He not only protected me, but made sure the offender knew we would not tolerate it. The result? We are now the outcasts of gatherings. Everyone is trying to convince us to make up and accept the error of the quote-unquote drunk. We forgive, yet we have chosen not to be in that group. Our neighbors keep saying we should forgive and forget and get over it so we can rejoin them. It's not that easy. As much as we initially enjoyed everyone's company, it's no longer the same. Please advise, signed At a Crossroad in the South. I think... So here's the thing with this letter. I think this is straight. Like, if we are to believe the person who wrote this letter, which we kind of have to, and we have no reason not to, you're just clearly in the right. Like, what you're telling me here is that you had a group of friends, a new person came and joined that group of friends and is now molesting half of the people in the group. And for some reason, you're the only people that seem upset by that. Right? That's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
So like, don't hang out with those people. I don't know what else to tell you. They're not your friends.
Yeah. I kind of feel like this is a metaphor for Kill Tony. It's just what's happening in the Austin scene right now, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I mean, if it was Kill Tony, there would be some racial slurs involved. So it's not quite. It's just
no,
it's
right.
Close.
They're writing in code. That's my but like, there's this whole thing of like, this guy's obviously a race. You're hearing this? You said this?
Everybody's close. We're all
and then you're like, no, what? why are you putting that out? It's like that, where it's like, you're the one who's like pushed out or whatever.
That is the gross. I think we can transition this into a conversation about scenes or social groups, as it were. It's that need to defend or protect the offender. You know what I mean? And like, there has, depending on the offense, there should be room for growth and the ability to make amends and try to fix past mistakes and better themselves as a person. However, this man did not, from what I'm reading in this letter, he didn't just get drunk, touch a girl's butt, and then be like, oh shit, I'm so sorry I touched your butt. This appears to be a widespread issue, right? He just can't keep his hands off butts. So at some point, you got to protect your friends' butts. That guy's got to go. Like, this is Ian Carmel, I think, once said about like just sort of abusers of comedy. It's a workplace safety issue. You can't just have a dude out here who is a known issue at work. You got to protect your coworkers. You got to protect your neighbors' butts.
I was going to say, this guy is ruining bunko night. You know what I mean? Just, no one can just play and enjoy it. He's just got to touch Becky's boob or whatever.
Absolutely.
This is definitely not taking place in a city. I feel like it's like a small town.
Super cul-de-sac. I'm getting real cul-de-sac vibes. This is a development. They all like rotate where the cornhole game is set up that weekend. Like, this is a very much a very neighborhood situation. We've got a new person who's moved in. I wouldn't be shocked if said new person is like a local cop or
somebody of authority,
owns a local business of some kind, where maybe people are employed.
Councilman.
Absolutely. Exactly. Man, we're getting deep. Dude, I like that. We're tearing this little fucking neighborhood apart.
Nobody likes to touch butts as much as councilmen.
That is a
it's
fact.
Like, I'm not the mayor. It's not going to get in the news.
Yeah. No, a councilman loves to touch a butt because a councilman knows that they have no real authority. They're not going to make any real money. What are my perks? I get no speeding tickets, and I get to touch secretary butt. That's what they get out of the job. Ooh, that's right. Yeah, 100%.
And unlike like a comedy scene or even a workplace, this is not. It sounds like a social gathering.
This is a social gathering. That's very true. It is not even like you got to go to HR. This is just
it's not affecting your livelihood or what you're doing. It's just a regrettable situation, and they want can somebody and there's nothing that we or Abby can say that's going to make all those other assholes go, oh, so you were right. All you have to do is you say fuck them, you move on, and then when that thing self-destructs, and it will
100%. Yes. Somebody's eventually gonna punch that dude. That is 100% accurate.
It's gonna come back and be like, oh, Harry and Margaret were correct or whatever. It's gonna come back around. It's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna take this from a different angle real fast. Stay with me.
I'm with it.
Well, I like to think that the couple who wrote this letter, or the woman who is a part of the couple that wrote this letter, everybody else that's a part of this like neighborhood hangout group are all actually a part of an orgy, right? And they don't want that couple invited because of obvious reasons.
They're not.
They're writing letter people. You know what I mean?
They're
like,
not
you don't
orgy
want to
people.
have.
That's true.
Yeah. So maybe it's all like they're like playing it off. Just taking this from a different angle because I think it's funny.
No, that's like absolutely that for sure, and that also makes a lot of sense. This dude is going around. They sent him in to test the waters, right? He's the butt toucher that goes, "Oh, are these guys cool?
Let's see." You
know what I mean? Is this gonna like? Are they gonna wiggle into the butt touch, or are they gonna wiggle out? Yeah. I like what you're saying. This has got, now we're getting to Eyes Wide Shut territory. Yeah.
Sure.
But also, this is like, let's be real. This is also like Eyes Wide Shut in like Tupelo. You know what I mean? This isn't like isn't even like Charleston or something gothic and cool. It's like real shitty suburb area version of that.
Corsicana, Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah, all these people have couches that each part of the couch pulls out into a recliner. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There are cup
like,
holders in those couches for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they have some sort of weird wolf painting over like the fireplace or nearby, like in their living room. There's a lot of maroon colors in their house. Sorry, I'm speaking from experience.
There's the men have man caves and they take it real seriously. You know what I mean? They're like, it's got shit on the wall of like, if you like, there's a lot of guys with like, if you can see this, the bitch fell off bumper stickers. You know what I mean? On their shitty motorcycles that they only ride once every couple of months. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Balls on their truck. Mm-hmm. You know,
I thought that too. Yeah. Immediately.
And I'm just immediately picking up Alabama. You know what I mean? That's just radiating off of this. Because I feel like any place in Alabama that's, you know, honestly, even major cities, I feel like they are like 10 years behind from being awake. I like to say it like that because I think it's hilarious. But they haven't awakened yet. I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, Cliff can touch a butt. That's fine. What's wrong with you? You know, like.
Yeah. I agree 100%. So I think our advice for this couple is you guys are right. Just fucking get away from that creep. And like,
my advice is move.
You got to either move or like, you know, join a bowling league. There's some other place you can socialize. I do feel bad for these people that clearly this was like their social circle that they are now kind of being ostracized from, which sucks for them. But like, there's just got to be some other, you know, there's like a bowling league, or you can go like start hanging out at the park. I don't know, whatever you got to do to like, don't do comedy because we got enough of you, but like otherwise, like go find something where you can meet some strangers, because like you'll meet cooler people in this. I think we got time for one more letter and we can get out of here. Let's go ahead and try this one because I think it's funny. Dear Abby, my husband and I disagree about our arrangements after we pass away. I would like to be cremated and scattered at a location with wonderful memories, like where we honeymooned. He wants a full funeral and to be buried in our hometown, 2.5 hours away from where we've been living for almost 20 years. I don't have a lot of love for our hometown and am estranged from my family. When I asked why he would want to be buried there, he joked that his kids won't come to visit him wherever he is, so at least his high school buddies can come to the cemetery and drink a beer and toast him. I do not want to waver from being cremated. I feel the land is for the living, but I also worry it would be regarded as odd not to be in the same plot. Now I joke that I hope I die first because I don't want to have to honor his wishes. It's not a joking matter, though, and I'd appreciate advice about our disagreement. Signed, Still Alive in Michigan. There are several questions here. I would like to go with a broader question, and then we'll get down into the specifics. But my broader question is, does it matter?
No.
Like, at all does it matter? Like, if you go first, then he'll just have him he'll just bury you in the hometown. And if he goes first, then cremate him. There's no downside. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. They're not going to know. Just, yeah.
You're not going to get haunted.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
So one of them wants to be buried. One of them wants to be cremated.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the situation.
This sounds like something you should have talked about before you got married. You know, it's like, do you want kids? Are you religious? Do you want to be cremated or buried?
Now here's the thing though. While we went on the broad, I would like to come down into the specific of something that seems like a little telling. Which is he joked that his kids won't come visit him wherever he is. So what's going on there? You know what I mean? This guy seems to have maybe burnt some bridges along the way.
Yeah. Why won't your kids visit you? Like that's
that seems a little suspicious.
I don't know. Maybe they're just basic assholes, though.
They could be just run-of-the-mill assholes for sure.
Yeah, just like selfish kids who are about their lives, you know. I don't know. I mean, he's the one. Okay, the father is the one that wants to be buried.
Father wants to be buried, so quote unquote, his high school buddies can come have a beer and toast his grave.
Which is really Springsteen Glory Days ish. It's real like
you're overthinking it for sure. Also,
he has not left high school as the heyday.
Well, you're talking about your hometown, and you're all like, not only have you not left, like, so he's moved 2 hours out away from his hometown, which is not particularly close, not particularly far,
right?
But all of his high school buddies haven't left the hometown. Like, nobody got out. This has got real Born to Run vibes for sure.
Yeah. And also, I guess they're high school sweethearts because she's also from
the same town. Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Which kind of like he feels like, yeah. So the last time things were great was when he was in high school because that's who he thinks about, and then he's got the thing about his kids, which means that he resents kids and he resents getting married right out of high school and then immediately having kids who now aren't going to come visit him when he dies. Bury me, on the football field.
Absolutely. I would also throw into that mix that she says she would like to be cremated and scattered at a location with wonderful memories, like where we honeymooned, which appears to be the last wonderful memories of this couple. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing. She also got wonderful memories like where we honeymooned or our 20th anniversary or where our kids were born. We honeymooned and it was great, and it's been downhill since then.
That was the only place we went.
I like to think that even their honeymoon, where they honeymooned, was maybe just 4 hours away.
Yeah, I mean? It's for sure just the Six Flags a few towns over. Yeah, absolutely.
We really traveled. We were
they didn't make it to
a day.
Yeah.
When she joked about how she hopes that she goes before him so she doesn't have to follow his wishes. I feel like what it sounds like about him, I wouldn't want to go before him if I was his wife, because I would be too afraid that he would spread my ashes down a toilet.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, this is not husband vibes.
Let me tell you, I used to work for I worked a couple temp summers at the post office at a big distribution center, and people are often cremated remains are often sent through the mail in what they call registered mail, which is very secure. It has to be signed for at each place. It's kept locked in a cage. Yeah. And people's remains would wait in the fucking registered cage for until that shit got sent back. People just wouldn't claim them.
Wow.
So yeah, I have no doubt that this dude would just get the box, put it on a shelf somewhere, and then go back to watching NCIS or whatever the fuck was on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's gonna go do a big ceremony at the casino boat where they fucking had their honeymoon.
Yeah, he's gonna invite his friends over. He's gonna put the box out while his friends come over. They're gonna get fucked up, and then somebody is going to spill it, and then another person, one of his friends, is going to shit on it. That is
wow.
Yeah.
Literally. So if I was her, I would do everything to kill this guy just to make sure that he dies first.
I'm not saying murder him, but high fat, high sodium diet. Let's start going he gets more fast food, you get more sweet greens. You know what I'm saying?
But even if they do have a drunken defecation party on her ashes, it won't matter because she'll be fucking dead.
That's also very true. I am John, what are do you have any I die, what do you want what are your post-death wishes?
I don't care. I really no, I haven't thought about it, but I really don't care.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I've been that way my whole life. I will say whatever is the least burdensome to my loved ones. You know what I mean? Whatever you want, whatever's going to make you comfortable. If you want me cremated and put on a shelf, do that. If you want me buried somewhere, do that. If you want me put out in a ditch somewhere, I'm fine with that too. It means nothing to me. So please.
Okay. Do you know
Ashley's got something. Come on, what you got?
Yeah. Okay. So you know how women grow up planning their wedding day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's me, but with my funeral.
Okay.
I have just been a very Wednesday Addams type of girl, right?
Mhm.
And I remember when I was younger too, now I've thought about this. And what I want is a weekend at Bernie's situation where you
Nice.
set up my body
Mhm.
and for like maybe at least 24 hours, right before it really starts stinking. I want my body set up at a Forever 21, like like a live mannequin. That way it'll be fun because like if I'm old, I can literally have like, be like 94 years old having a shirt that says like too hot and then like pants that have money signs on them. Like that, those are my wishes.
I like it.
And then I can be cremated and everyone can listen to, Death Cab for Cutie for 12 hours.
Yeah.
I want to say for the record that I am going to change my answer to what Cuba said, because I don't want to seem like a complete dick. I'm like,
but also
take it easy on people who I love. Yeah, that's
it.
Yeah.
Like it's not about. I don't like. I literally don't care if I died and you left me there. It's fine. Like if we die overseas, whatever, man. You're not coming back. Like just it's fine. The paperwork involved seems like a nightmare. So like by all means, I couldn't care less what you do with my body. However, you're around still theoretically. I'm getting married soon, so whatever. But like whoever's around still, if it's something that brings you comfort, please do that thing. But please don't spend any real money. That bums me out when you find out that a coffin is like $8,000. It's like I have never owned a car worth $8,000. You're gonna just spend that money and put it in the dirt? That seems insane to me.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, this has been a blast. John, where can people find you on the internet? Anything you want to plug?
Still Sober with John Rabon is my podcast. It's basically just me talking about sobriety and bitching about my week. It's like a diary more than a podcast, but you can find that in every podcast app. It's called Still Sober with John Rabon.
Check that out for sure. Ashley, what's going on with you?
Well, people can follow me at Ashley's Over It on Instagram. That's definitely where I'm the most active. And then, Shit's Golden every first Monday of the month at 8 p.m. at the ballroom at Spider House. Just, if you're going to come to this show, please don't come if you're unvaxxed and, wear a mask.
Be a fucking person. We appreciate it. I am Chris Cubis I'm at Chris Cubis on all social media. Again, if you like the show, rate, review, and subscribe. Give us those little 5-star reviews. Give us a little review. Leave us some kind words. We greatly appreciate it. And we will be back next week with more bad advice.